It's Week 18 of the NFL. And coming up, we've got Jimmy Garoppolo. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Steelers and the Ravens, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, it's January 7th, but we haven't seen you since New Year's Eve, so we have to say Happy New Year, one and all. And partner, Happy New Year to you. This is it, the conclusion of the 2023 season. Hard to believe, but we got a good one here between division rivals. And you like what the NFL's done here, making Week 18 all division games.
I think it's one of the more inspired moves by the league because they've made these matchups really count. And typically they mean something, not a lot of coasting as people head towards the playoffs. But I do have to ask, January 7th, is it too late to say it? We're kind of right on the borderline, aren't we, about Happy New Year? Because that always seems to be the subject of debate.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the veteran in his 10th NFL campaign, Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. These two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep from the 25. Here's 2nd and 9. They run again with Harris. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Yeah, look at this Baltimore defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play on the football, and while it was tipped in the air, it made everyone a little bit anxious before falling to the ground. You just know defensive players are taught to knock the ball to the ground. But early in games, emotions come into play. Nerves come into play. And despite the training, the ball was tipped up. Fortunately for them, they didn't pay for that error.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
Well, not a gain that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
On second down, Williams. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Out now is the punter, Jordan Stout. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Well, here we sit, week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. We're scoreless after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They'll run again with Harris. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Face mask. Defense.
So this defense, maybe a frustration penalty there with the success that he's had running the football in this first half.
Not an excuse to do that, but yes, they're looking to slow him down any way possible. That one's just not legal.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end flyer move. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They need about the length of the football here on 1st and goal. Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
And how nice is it to have a guy like Najee Harris in the backfield when you get down near the goal line? He can use his 230-plus pound frame to just get you those tough yards, and he finishes things off here with a touchdown run.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And Hill will opt for the touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. We do know that they are postseason bound, but they're leaking a little oil, so to speak, as they kind of limp into January.
Yeah, and that oil can set fire to their season, can't it?
Look
and
at that.
See what I did there? But here's the thing that we've both seen in the NFL. Teams down the stretch playing really well. Sometimes it doesn't carry over into the playoffs. Sometimes teams that aren't playing well now, if they have good leadership at the head coaching spot and the coaching staff and within the locker room, they can find a way to turn it around. But no one wants to be on a losing streak as they head into the playoffs.
Jackson on first down. That ball caught. It's Mike Andrews, the tight end. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 45 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Jackson to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Going with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Gunnar Olszewski bringing it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Garoppolo now. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. Down the sideline he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Allen Robinson, 79 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they had been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it.
Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson now off the bootleg. A short throw caught by Andrews. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A 1st down there on a pickup to 25.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Najee Harris and the rest of this offense work their way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 76 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st half. On the draw, it's Harris. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this 1st half. Well, not much time remains here in this 1st half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Screen play set up for Williams. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point now by Boswell. Now before they can try the extra point, a flag comes out, and they're going to get tagged for a delay of game. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Another attempt now from 5 yards further back. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And they run the option on second down. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Jackson now. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
A gain of 10 makes it 3rd and 3.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
It's a gain of 2. 3rd down.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call four.
And now off to the races down the right side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It's a gain of 34.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Garoppolo. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40.
Holding. Offense.
So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Ravens 1st down. They only needed 1, but it ends up being a gain of 6 and moves the chains. To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line.
Now Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Now it's Jackson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
A loss of 6. Brings up 2nd.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Tavius Robinson there on the tackle.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Holding offense.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 111 yards rushing for him now as he is finishing off the regular season with a bang. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. On second down, this is Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Harris running straight ahead. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On the give, this is Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here's Harris. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. That one goes for 8 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now here come the Ravens. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard, but that is not the case as we play on here this fourth quarter. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is intercepted.
Jackson's pass intercepted by the Steelers. They'll take over first and 10.
This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than